Before I get into it, this video contains spoilers, so if you have not seen the film, make sure you watch it first. Or look at the description for my non-spoiler review. Okay, so you've all seen Thor Ragnarok? Good. Now this video might be a little jumbled, because I'm making this right after seeing it. I have so much to say, and my mind is moving as fast as it took Hela to destroy Mjolnir. So I want to begin with the characters. There were several deaths that I was not expecting. Namely, Fandral, Hogun, and Volstagg. And Odin. And Asgard. And Thor's Eye. And Meek. Oh wait, Meek's still alive, everyone, don't worry. I kind of assumed Hela would die at the end. She's too powerful to be kept alive. But when Fandral and Volstagg were killed by Hela in like 3 seconds, I was waiting for a while for them to come back. But then after the scene where Hela takes on Hogun and a few hundred Asgardian warriors, and they all die and Hogun is skewered on a spike, it started to dawn on me that these characters, the Warriors 3, who we've seen in every Thor movie, were actually dead, and would very likely stay dead. Now Hela, I absolutely loved. Cate Blanchett was the perfect actress to not only bring this menacing character to life, but she added so much more to Hela than was even in the script. In the comics, Hela is actually Loki's daughter, but here she's Odin's daughter, making her Thor's sister. The big reveal at the end of Thor the Dark World, that Loki was still alive and took the throne of Asgard while pretending to be his father, was pretty much solved right at the beginning. A few years ago, I would have thought it was a big part of the next movie. But as soon as Thor learns Odin isn't on Asgard from Surtur, he goes home to see Odin chilling and watching a play about the death of Loki, which he presumably wrote. And Thor almost immediately realizes this is actually Loki. So problem solved. All those hours wasted wondering how Loki caught Odin off guard, and where did he put Odin, and is Odin dead, and what is Loki going to do now that everyone will obey all his commands, now that he's essentially the ruler of Asgard? Well, don't worry, Thor's got this. In the first 10 minutes of the movie. But that's okay. I don't mind, because that would have been a totally different film if we focus on that for 2 hours. And it is better than just pretending it didn't happen, or not even addressing how that event in the movie might affect the future of the character, or the universe, or the story, at all. Or even contradicting itself to reverse the changes they made, where it leaves you wondering if anyone ever put real thought into the continuity of the film series at all. At least they didn't do that. There are several big differences when you compare this movie to the last two, besides the tone. One is that it mostly takes place off-Earth. The only scene where Thor is on Midgard is when he goes to find his father and meets Doctor Strange. But the other big difference is that Jane Foster isn't in it, along with Darcy and Dr. Selvig. They are nowhere in this movie at all. Thor has a line where he said they broke up mutually, but it's not explained any more than that. But it's okay, they weren't my favorite couple anyway. Something I noticed in the scene where Thor's hammer is destroyed is in the trailer it takes place in a city. Thor and Hela are in an alley, there are buildings behind her, and Mjolnir falls in concrete. But in the finished film, they are in Norway, on a grassy cliffside next to an ocean. From what I can gather from reading a bit about the production, they'd originally planned to have Odin on the New York City streets as a crazy hobo. There were some set pics that leaked a while ago, leading some to start calling him Hobodin. But I guess Taika Waititi, the director, felt that it wasn't the tone he wanted, and that Odin being in Norway was more authentic to his character, especially since it's immediately followed by the scene of his death. It was interesting that it's revealed that Odin wasn't always as good and perfect as Thor thought. He and Hela worked together to conquer the 9 realms. Unfortunately, Odin being dead, Thor can't confront him about it or anything. I would like to see that. So, Asgard is destroyed, which sucks. I'm really curious where the Asgardians will go. Maybe a new planet, new Asgard, I don't know. But I think a strong possibility is that the big ship in the mid-credits scene is Thanos, or the Black Order, or someone that's connected to Thanos. If you don't want any spoilers for Avengers Infinity War, skip ahead about 20 seconds. But it's not really even a spoiler because it was in the teaser shown at Comic-Con. But at the beginning of the trailer, the Guardians of the Galaxy are flying through space when they see a bunch of debris. Mantis asks what happened when Thor hits their windshield. Is that debris from the ship that all the Asgardians were on because they were blown up? Or is that just the remnants of Asgard when it was destroyed by Surtur? But then how would Thor end up floating in space? I'm not sure what the answer is, but it's something to keep in mind as the trailers start being released for Infinity War. My only small complaints about the film are some of the changes they made to some of the characters. Throughout watching it, I didn't particularly like that they changed Korg's personality so much. I mean, I really enjoyed the comedy from him, being played by Taika Waititi himself, but I wasn't sure it was worth giving up who Korg is for that. But by the time I got to the end, my opinion was somehow changed. Even if it isn't exactly how I'd always pictured Korg being like, especially when he was previously played by the great Kevin Michael Richardson, this was a great unique take, and added a lot to the overall film. But then there's Meek, the little six-legged guy. I do think they totally snubbed him of the personality and true look he originally has, but if they can redeem him in a future installment, then I'll excuse how they portrayed him in this one. This movie was pretty full of stuff already. They somehow managed to balance and incorporate 2 big storylines, Ragnarok and essentially Planet Hulk, and Taika Waititi did it well. I had trust in the director, but it actually balanced them better than I even hoped. Before I wrap up this video, I want to point out a big Easter egg that I really loved. These statues on this building. As far as I can tell, the characters being referenced here are Beast, the Marvel Ares, Beta Ray Bill, and Man-Thing, my personal favorite. Even with this movie taking many chances, in my opinion, they all paid off to make this incredibly enjoyable movie. You guys have seen it. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I'd love to hear your opinions. Sorry for this video being so rambly, I just had so many thoughts going through my head after seeing this. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you'd like and subscribe. And thank you all for watching, I really appreciate it. Oh, and thank you Taika for having Thor wear his helmet again. That's what I've wanted to see more than anything. I didn't like the haircut, but I totally forgave it when Stan Lee was the one to do it. I can't argue with that. Enough said, and Excelsior.